SoundCartel.
From SoundCartel, I'm Nicole Goodman, and this is Business Essentials Daily. The average age of a business owner in Australia is 50, according to the Australian Small Business and Family Enterprise Ombudsman. And you can add Colleen Callander to the ranks. She was former CEO of Suzanne and Sportsgirl, and today is building her Mentor Me platform to help women across all generations exceed in business and life. As she promotes her latest book, Elevate, Unlock Your Extraordinary Potential, co-written with Shannah Kennedy, Chris Ashmore asks Colleen whether there's too much focus on young entrepreneurs and if business owners 50 plus are being forgotten.
I'm 52, Chris, and I think I'm just entering the best chapter of my life. So I actually think we need to change the narrative a little bit with this one. And there are certainly these young, incredible entrepreneurs coming up through the ranks. And it's really important that we embrace and encourage and nurture all of that innovation and new ideas and incredible risk-taking that they are happy to do. But I also think on the flip side of that, it is really important that we never discount experience, wisdom, time, our successes, our failures, because we've been through all of that once you get to your 50s. So I think it's more about changing the narrative and thinking about how this generation can really mentor those entrepreneurs, because I think we have a lot to learn from each other. But I think there's space for both of them. I think the shiny new, which are the entrepreneurs, are really the ones that get the spotlight on them, but not necessarily is that really the only place we need to focus.
Well, no matter what your age, whether you're 50 or younger or whatever, running a business is tough. Particularly at the moment, we've got so many external pressures. The inflation's going through the roof, cost of living, all those issues associated with that can take a real hit on business owners. What can they do in a practical sense?
Well, if I think back to 2007, which is when I had burnout, I was general manager of Sportsgirl at the time, and I had no boundaries. I had no limits. I loved to say yes. I was a people pleaser. And before you know it, you're on that train to burnout town. And it's one of those trains that stops at no station. Before you know it, you've arrived. And so for me, I think, Chris, the two biggest game changers that I'd love to share with your audience, the first one is boundaries. Boundaries are all about protecting the asset. And as a CEO, I had no boundaries in the early days, right? I just had this incredible capacity that I didn't know had any limits. And as you know, we've had this discussion before. I talk about myself as the Ferrari that, never pulled into the pits, never put air in the tires, never put petrol in the tank. I just wanted to go faster and faster because that was my personality. That was my makeup. So I really had to put boundaries in. When do I start my day? When do I finish my day? What are my rituals? When do I open up to the world? What self-care practices can I put in to keep my tank full? So that was a really big one. And the other one I'd say was thinking about my life in balance. I just had work. That was my focus. And, that was my drive every day. So I really had to think about how can I balance these two, work and life, and how can I make them live together and love each other and cooperate with each other. So for me, I put in a very long time ago this balance of 80-20. So 80% of my life needs to be in balance. That keeps my tank full. And 20% can be chaos because that brings risk-taking and fun and resilience and excitement, right? And we don't want it to be always perfect because it's never perfect. But for me, that works. Some people, your balance might be 50-50, Chris. It doesn't really matter what your balance is. It's about knowing the triggers when you fall out of balance and what can you add, change, or delete to start to get that back into that really happy place for you, that life imbalance.
Now, you have a new book out. It's called Elevate. Why that title?
I love this title. I love this book. I love this word. I think it's the mantra for 2024. And, every single person on the planet, Chris, can elevate in their life, their leadership, their longevity. Elevate doesn't mean let's do massive sweeping changes in our lives. Elevate means let's tweak it all the time. Let's do the 1%ers. Let's make small changes for big outcomes, really big outcomes. So for me, Elevate is, as I said, the word for 2024. The book is, I think, fabulous. It's written in 3 pillars: your life pillar, your leadership pillar, and then your longevity pillar, which talks about burnout. And every chapter says or asks you, what do you want to keep doing, start doing, and stop doing to elevate that part of your life? So it's a really, really simple tool. In fact, I believe Elevate is your handbook for life.
Can you share some practical steps business owners can take to redefine their own success?
It's a really great question, Chris. And I think the first thing is what's really important with that question is to define what success means to you, because success means something different to everyone. Some people it's power, some people it's money, freedom, recognition. For some, it might be the legacy that they want to leave. So I think the first thing is define what success means. And once business owners define that, and that generally starts with what's important. Is it personal values? Is it work-life balance? Is it continuous learning? Is it the impact you want to make on other people? Is it financial? So really think about what is that success for you. Success for me has always been leaving this planet better than the way I found it. And for me, that is in the leadership space, being able to influence and inspire and impact people in a positive way every single day. That's what success looks like for me.
Now, you had an incredible, successful career at Sportsgirl and Suzanne. What are you doing these days?
Well, it's been a fantastic year. This year's really been focused around my business Human Elevation, which I have with Shannah Kennedy, who's one of Australia's leading life coaches. We wrote our book, of course, Elevate, and we run lots of programs for companies, but we're very passionate about women in leadership as well. So we take women walking the world. We just stepped off the Nakasendo Way Trail in Japan about 5 weeks ago. So we coach women, we teach our program. So yeah, it's been a very, very busy year, and we were just saying we can't believe we're coming to the end of another year, but it's been super exciting. And as I said, my 50s, I think this is going to be the best chapter yet.
That was Colleen Callander, founder of Mentor Me and author of Elevate. To order a copy of the book, please go to colleencallander.com.au or to the link in the show notes of this episode. This episode of Business Essentials Daily is produced by the team at SoundCartel. Thanks for listening. I'm Nicole Goodman. We'll bring you more Be Daily tomorrow. Follow @BE Daily Podcast across social media and head to bedaily.com.au for more from the Business Essentials Daily podcast. SoundCartel.